Are we at a point to where a consumer has the ability to publish, in some cases, better than the brands themselves? Meaning, through these social tools that you've mentioned, where they might have a louder voice and affect a brand. Are we at that point now?
We are at that point, but I think two things need to happen. I think there's a mainstream adoption of social media, but we need to become increasingly sophisticated in how we use it. And by that I mean we need to purpose social media. Right now, for some people it's an entertainment tool, it's a distraction. For others it's a way to share something meaningful. But I think we need to contextualize its role in terms of the trouble that we're in and the way that we need to organize ourselves to let the brands who make the products that we buy be responsible for their impact on the planet. Both in terms of, literal things like chemicals being dropped into a river, but also the negative externalities, the economic impact, the cost. Because if you think about it, the private sector and all these companies benefit extraordinarily from all the resources that are out there. And, yet at the same time, they don't necessarily pay the penalties for those profits, for their impact. In which case, consumers need to put their hand up and say, you know what, we don't want you destroying more rainforests. We don't want you wasting or polluting the water.
But it takes a lead to do that.
Right.
You mentioned some very important points. Who leads that? Who leads that drive to stop the rainforests from being cut down or the pollutants in the air? One consumer, do they become the beacon, or is there some type of nonprofit that we associate with that goes after this? I don't understand how everyone organizes to make a difference.
There are three ways. One is the individual. The most beautiful thing about social media is that it's completely distributed and flat. Part of the appeal perhaps of celebrities tweeting is that suddenly you're on the same level as a celebrity. You can engage one-on-one. Right. The inverse is that we have every right as an individual to put our hand up and say, this is what I care about, and to leverage our friends and family to build a movement. Secondarily, we can go and support a non-profit, which is organized in a more formal way and has direct experience in how to affect change on the ground. So a non-profit, obviously. But thirdly, and most importantly, the private sector can get engaged in a way that's actually good for their business. You can sit there and say, I as a company stand for X, and I'm going to build a community around that cause, and I'm going to contribute to that cause in an authentic and meaningful way, and my community is going to reward me in terms of through goodwill, loyalty, and word-of-mouth advertising. So whether it's through the lens of a company, or whether it's a non-profit, or it's groups of individuals getting together, any one of those can work.